Have you noticed this little heart down in the lower right corner? This is what is called your personal program. Now you notice that throughout this machine, it's kind of grouped in how the stitches are similar to each other. There's decorative stitches, there's your quilting stitches, and you have to kind of remember where everything is until you kind of get used to the machine. So what if today you are working on a project, you have two decorative stitches you're going between and a straight stitch, actually two straight stitches, one at one length and one at another. You are able to make a copy of the stitches you're using and kind of make your own menu. So I'm going to show you how this is going to work. Our first stitch we need is a straight stitch at a default setting, like just 2.5. That's perfect. Touch the heart. And you have three options: to retrieve something, not yet; save something, yes, and there is the delete option for when we're done, maybe not needing to save those. Now we're just kind of making a copy of these stitches. So let's go ahead and save that. You actually are given 4 different project folders. So we're just going to put everything in the folder number 1 because that's where we kind of want it to be. Go ahead and touch the green check mark, and we've just added 1 straight stitch with the default setting. Let's go ahead and do a decorative stitch. I'm just going to pick a random one. I'm going to save that one into my heart, touch the save into the folder, and we're going to put it in folder 1 with my other one, and confirm with the green check mark. One more decorative stitch just to give you an idea. We'll go down to the 900. This looks fabulous. This is the other stitch I'm loving. Touch your personal program, save into the folder you want to go into, and green check mark. Oh, right, we needed 1 more straight stitch. Go back to the straight stitch, and I did this last so you can really see the difference. This stitch length that I'm always using it at is at, let's just go up to like 4. All right, so it's real obvious. It's different. So it's a new setting, saving that also into full personal program, folder 1, and green check mark. Okay, so tomorrow comes and I've got all my stitches. Well, where did they go? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the personal program. We're going to retrieve one of our menus we created. We're going into our folder 1, and there are our 4 stitches. Notice right now, okay, and they kind of go in the order that we did them. This is the last one we did, was a straight stitch at stitch length of 4. The first one we did was a stitch length with a length of, or a straight stitch with a 2.5 length. So let's say we start sewing along. We've got our seams that we needed sewn. Now we're ready for our decorative stitches, and then we're doing our other decorative stitch, and then we're going to do that longer stitch length that we need to kind of finish things up. Nice top stitching at the end, for example. So what's nice is, you see what I'm doing? Everything is just on one screen. I can save this. I can turn the machine off. It's going to still retain into this folder until I really don't need it anymore. And so at that point, you can even back up 1 level, 2 levels there, and go into the delete area. And what do you want to delete? Well, folder 1. Here's the little X's. Which ones do you want to delete? Do you want to delete 1, or do we just want to delete them all? So I'm going to do all of them. So I'm going to touch it. Are you sure? Green check mark. And you'll just see them disappearing as I confirm, yes, I do not need them in this folder anymore. So at any time that you're kind of working between 2 or 3 stitches and you're kind of hopping all over the screen to kind of get to what you're working with, save them in your personal program. Maybe you do something and you really love the way this stitch turns out and you want to remember that length. Again, that's a great way to kind of maybe save some of your favorite stitches. I've also had when people are sewing out their decorative stitches, so they're sewing the one and then doing another row and they're doing all these, and they get to one and they see it and they're inspired by it. I want you to just quick pop it over into a folder that's kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to forget, I love that stitch folder, and then just kind of keep going on with what you're doing. And then again, when you come back and you're like, what was that stitch that I loved? Then you can come in, retrieve out of your folder, oh yeah, that was that one, and then there'll be others that you've probably saved in there. So have some fun, personalize the machine, save the stitches, make copies of them, and did you notice you can make more than 1 copy of the same stitch?